What's up, everyone? Today on My Favorite Things to Eat, we're making lamb tagine. When I visited Morocco, I absolutely fell in love with the country, from the beautiful architecture, the amazing people, but most importantly, the food. One of my favorite memories from that entire trip was actually haggling at the spice market, talking to these guys who spend their whole life buying, selling, trading spices, understanding all the different flavors, and really cool learning the different names, getting to try them all and bring home a couple samples. When we're talking about a tagine, we could be talking about two different things. First of all, this piece of cooking equipment is actually called the tagine. This is a very decorative one. You can find much cheaper ones that you would cook over an open fire or a gas burner. The other version of the word is the dish that's actually made inside of this, where we're gonna put the meat inside, cook it down, and you would put the top on, and this cooks directly over the fire. Now, if you don't have a tagine, you can simply do this on the stove in a sauteuse pan like this. The first thing we want to do is season the meat. Once we've seasoned this, we're going to let it sit for about 2 hours. You can let it sit overnight to really absorb all of those flavors into the meat. Black pepper. Ginger, saffron, and a bit of paprika. And last but not least, a bit of fresh parsley and cilantro. Coriander in the States we call the seed that then becomes cilantro when it grows into the plant. Many other countries will call fresh cilantro coriander. So if you see that in some recipes throughout India or Moroccan cooking, you'll see that a lot around the world. Once the meat has marinated for about 2 hours, we're gonna go ahead and get a pan on the stove, get it to about a medium-high heat. We'll add some butter in. Once your butter's melted, we'll go ahead and add in the onions. We'll start to cook those out. Now we'll add a little garlic. And once those onions are just starting to become translucent, we're gonna go ahead and add the meat in there. This lamb smells absolutely incredible. One of the things that's very interesting to me, if you compare this to French cooking like a daube or some kind of stew or braise, in France they use a lot of alcohol in the cooking. So this would be a high heat. You would sear the meat, create a lot of Maillard reaction on the outside at really tasty bits. Deglaze with wine, tomato paste. But in Morocco, you don't really see alcohol in both the culture and the cooking. So this one is a bit more of a traditional kind of homey stew that doesn't have all those different components to it. But because of the spices, the flavor is just absolutely incredible. Here we're going to cover this stew with stock. You can use water as well. That's a more traditional method. As this has come up to a boil, we're going to lower down the heat. So we just want a nice gentle simmer. We'll place the lid right on top. This will cook for about 1 hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and kind of test it, and that's how we'll know if it's done or not. It's been about 1 hour and a half. What we want to do now is we want to take the lid off and we want to let this liquid kind of reduce down a bit. Once that liquid has come down to a nice consistency, we're going to add in some peas, finish it with a bit of preserved lemon, and go ahead and plate it. The lamb now has this wonderful consistency. We're going to go ahead and plate it up here. So we'll just take the top off of our tagine, bring this over, start to add it in. Now we go ahead and add some of this julienne lemon zest, the preserved lemons, and a bit of fresh parsley on top. And there you have it. Lamb tagine is one of my favorite things to eat.